Hi, I'm Amy, this is House of Nash Eats, and today we are making chicken piccata. Okay, so to start out our chicken piccata, we're going to take 2 large chicken breasts, or if you have really small ones, you could just cover them with some plastic wrap and use a meat mallet to pound them flat. But usually our chicken breasts are like really big, so I used 2, and we're going to just use a sharp knife and slice them in half. So you've got 2 thinner chicken breast fillets, I guess. So I just lift one end of it and slice through with my knife until I've got 2 evenly sized pieces. There. Okay, so that gives me 2 pieces of chicken breast that are roughly about the same size, and that will be 1 portion. So this recipe makes enough for 4 servings. It's really easy to like double this recipe if you have guests coming over. Okay, so before we start cooking our chicken, make sure you've got a large pot of boiling water on the stove so you can cook your pasta, because the chicken will get done pretty quickly and you'll want to have your pasta ready to go. Or if you're doing mashed potatoes, go ahead and make those first because they'll stay warm while the chicken cooks. Okay, so once you've got your 2 chicken breasts sliced into 4 pieces, you can pound them a little thinner if you need to, but otherwise we're going to take some coarse kosher salt and some freshly ground black pepper and sprinkle both sides evenly. So if you sprinkle from higher up, you'll actually get better coverage of your seasonings than if you like sprinkle really close down here. It'll be more concentrated and you're more likely to like get too much salt in one place. So sprinkle from at least 6 to 10 inches above your meat. And it's going to be about 1 teaspoon of salt and about half a teaspoon of black pepper total, and then flip it over and do the other side as well. Okay, once your chicken breasts have been seasoned, I've got a shallow plate here with 1/3 cup of regular all-purpose flour, and we're just going to dredge our chicken breasts in the flour so that they've got a light coating on each side. This will give like a nice little crust to our chicken, but also it's going to help protect it so it doesn't cook too fast or burn in the pan. It just makes it for really easy, foolproof cooking. This is the kind of meal that like, if you want to impress somebody, this is a super great one to make because it's super easy, but it tastes amazing and like way more work went into it than you actually did. Okay, so we're just going to discard the rest of our flour and then we'll get the oil going in our pan so we can start cooking our chicken. Okay, so now we're ready to cook our chicken. So I've got my pan heating over a medium-high heat, and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm gonna save the rest of my oil for later. Ooh, this is pretty hot. Let me turn it down for a sec. Okay, so once our oil is hot, then we're going to add our chicken breast to the pan. You might need to work in batches if your pan isn't big enough. Okay, now we're going to let our chicken cook for about 3 to 4 minutes on the first side without moving it. Leave it alone because this is when the crust is really going to develop and give it a nice sear. Then we're gonna flip it using our tongs really carefully so we don't splatter, and cook it for 3 to 4 minutes on the second side until the chicken is done. And I always test it using a meat thermometer. Just like a handy little digital meat thermometer makes it so you always know your chicken is done. If it's a chicken breast, it should reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you know your chicken is ready. Okay, so these are ready to flip. I'm just gonna use my tongs. And you can see they've got a nice golden brown crust. So I'm just gonna let them cook for another 3 to 4 minutes until they reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, these chicken breasts are done, so I'm going to pull them out of the pan and just set them on a plate to the side for now. Okay, I've got 1 more chicken breast to cook and then we'll make our sauce. Okay, so once we've got our chicken out of the pan, we're going to add the rest of our oil. And once that is hot, which is only going to take a second, we're going to add 2 cloves of minced garlic. So I've got my garlic pressed today, just making things easy. We're going to press our garlic in. We're just going to cook this for like 30 seconds. We don't want to burn the garlic. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add our chicken broth, which I've got 1 cup of chicken broth. And 2 tablespoons of capers. Ooh, hold on, that like went in my eyes. And 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. And we're going to use the juice from the lemons in a little bit, but make sure to zest your lemons before you try to juice them. Okay, so now we just want to scrape the bottom of the pan, and that chicken broth is going to like pull up any browned bits while you scrape it, and that adds flavor to your dish. That's actually called fond, so that's really, really good to have. We're gonna let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes until it's reduced by about half. All right, so once that chicken broth has reduced by about half, we're going to add the juice of our lemons. And it's about 1/3 cup, so it's usually 1 to 2 lemons, depending on how juicy they are. So the lemon juice and the lemon zest goes so well, like that bright citrus, it pairs perfectly with the briny saltiness of the capers, which are like little flavor bombs in this chicken piccata. It's so, so good. Okay, so once we've added our lemon juice, we're going to let this continue to reduce for another like 1 to 2 minutes, and then we're going to add the butter and return the chicken to the pan. Okay, so now we're just going to add 2 tablespoons of salted butter, and the butter actually is going to thicken the sauce just a little bit. It's not a thick sauce. This is just a nice, rich pan sauce that we're going to pour over our pasta or potatoes, whatever we're serving our chicken with. If you really want like a creamy chicken piccata, you could also add, once you pull this off the heat, 2 to 3 tablespoons of cream. It's just some heavy cream, and that will thicken it up and give you like a really creamy sauce. I kind of actually prefer it just this way, but whatever you like, it's going to be good either way. Okay, so once that butter has melted, which happens really fast in the hot sauce, then we're just going to return our chicken to the pan. And now that the chicken has all seared, it's cooked down a little bit, and I can fit all of my chicken breasts in the same pan. And I'm just going to spoon some of that sauce over it, and I'll turn the heat off. I'm gonna pull it off the heat. Okay, and I just like to spoon the caper sauce over the chicken breasts so that they get soaked in that nice, like briny, citrusy sauce. And they'll heat up really fast if they've cooled off at all while you've been finishing the sauce. And then our chicken piccata is ready to plate and serve. Okay, so once the pasta is done, we can just transfer one of our chicken breasts over to the plate. I think I'll do this one. And then I like to spoon some extra sauce over the top. It's a really thin sauce, but it adds so much flavor to the pasta or potatoes, whatever you're serving it with. And then just add a sprinkle of fresh chopped Italian flat leaf parsley, just for a little green. And you're ready to go. There's your chicken piccata. Okay, so now I actually get to take a taste. So I've got some of the chicken and the pasta. That bite was way too big for camera, but it was so, so good. This chicken piccata is so delicious. It's super moist and tender with these amazing like big flavors of lemon and caper. It's salty and citrusy and briny, and it's just, seriously, this is like the perfect dish for any weekday dinner, any dinner where you want to impress friends. We love chicken piccata, and I hope you guys love it too. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys love this chicken piccata recipe. If you do, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more great recipes just like this one.